Okay, right. So just put up on how I would periodise my program. Right, if I start now, just off the top of my head. So there's probably a few things missing, but it will give you an idea of the thought processes you need to go through to get to a periodised program. You can see I've got my macro cycle is 8 weeks. Okay, that's what I'm working towards. Okay. Usually a macro cycle, what you do is you have your season, okay, which could be anything from 6 months to 8 months, or even in some sports 10 months, and then you break that 10 months down into macro cycles. All right. But for this, what I've tried to do is use macro cycle as my whole training period towards my triathlon. I've got my mesocycles. I've broken it into 4 2-week periods. Okay, I'll explain why in a second. And my microcycles are my weeks within the period. Okay. What I've done is I've put my goal. All right, my goal for each of the 4 mesocycles. My 4 goals. The first one in my first mesocycle is to increase my basic aerobic endurance. The way I'm going to do that is I'm going to look to long duration. Okay, training around 60 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, depending on how well I go, at about 70% of maximum heart rate. Okay, that's both on the bike, okay, and running, and I'll split those sessions evenly because I feel that they're my weakness. I won't do any swimming because I'm surfing a lot. Okay, and my days off I'll be surfing, or I try to sneak surfs in here and there, so I feel that it would be a waste of time for me to swim. All right, I'm better off to focus on my weaknesses. I will do 6 days a week of training because it's aerobic-based training. I can recover quite quickly with 1 day's rest. I can do day after day after day. It's not really high-intensity stuff, so I feel that I can recover. All right. I also feel I've got a reasonable base endurance, but I feel like I need to increase it a little bit more. So therefore, I'm going to do 6 days in a row. I'm not going to have day on, day off, day on, day off. All right. I'm going into my second mesocycle now. I want to increase my aerobic power and increase my anaerobic threshold. The way I'm going to do that is I've chosen fartlek. I'm working at 70% to 90% of my maximum heart rate. How I structure those, I don't know. All right, I'd have to sit down and think about that. And I'm going to, because it's a bit more intense, I'm going to work for 5 days in a row and have 2 days rest. And in those 2 days rest, I might surf. All right. So 2 days rest doesn't mean I'm doing nothing at all. I might do some flexibility. I might go and play a bit of touch with my mates. I might go surfing. Just keeping its active recovery. All right. My third mesocycle, is I want to start to work on my speed. All right, and my technique, and improve my anaerobic threshold in the process of doing that as well. I'm going to do that via interval, so short work. Right, so 10-second to 20-second work intervals with sort of minute to 2 minute rest to allow myself to recover properly. Allow my ATP energy system to replenish the ATP stock so that I can then work at maximum when I'm working. Alright? Because it's high intensity, I'm going to do 3 days a week, and I'm going to have 3 days also of continuous training at 60 to 70% of maximum heart rate so that I don't lose the gains I've made here. That's important. You must think about, when you are splitting it up, how am I going to maintain what I've gained here? Alright? I might do day on, day off. I might do 3 days in a row of interval training. I don't know. I have to think about that, but that's something you guys need to address. In my mesocycle 4, I'm getting close to my event now. I want to work on my speed endurance, and I want to work on my aerobic power and anaerobic threshold. I've decided to use high intensity interval training, long work intervals with short rests. Long work, I mean around 60 seconds to 90 seconds work with around 30 seconds rest. Okay, I'm wanting to increase the efficiency of my body to be able to what we call buffer lactate. All right, what that means is to actually essentially get rid of lactate so that you can then carry on your exercise. All right, I'm going to do 3 days again of high intensity interval training. 2 days of fartlek at 70-90% of maximum heart rate. So this is a high intensity workout. This is my last push. I feel I need it. That's good for my confidence mentally as well. Okay, and that's the other thing you got to think about, your mental. How do you feel? How do you feel? What do you think would serve you best to go into the event mentally prepared and confident?
Okay, 4 days out from the event I'll rest and I'll taper, and that will be complete rest. Maybe some flexibility thrown in. Okay?